great English thinker G.K. Chesterton once said, "Merely having an open mind is nothing. The purpose of an open mind, as of an open mouth, is to shut it again on something solid." In other words, don't be so open-minded that your brains fall out. Instead, understand God has given you and me a rational mind so that we can grasp truth, so that we can get in touch with reality. And God has given us 10 guidelines on how to know Him better. The first guideline says, "I am the Lord your God. You'll have no other gods before me." In other words, I am real. I am irreplaceable. I have a name. Don't take another object that is very good, very exciting, that brings a great deal of fulfillment. Don't bring another object or person like that and elevate it above me. I am the Lord your God. You'll have no other gods before me. In other words, allow God to be God. Don't play God. Don't remove God from the center of the universe and place yourself there. And then a second guideline is, I'm the Lord your God. Do not make an image of me, an idol of me. What's wrong with making an image or an idol of God? It's a way that I control God. I take my imagination, I take my fertile mind, and I say, this is who God is, and I create God to parallel my own agenda, my own likes and dislikes. The other end of the spectrum of that one is, have an accurate image of God. You see, if you don't have any image of God, if you don't have any understanding of God, then God is an abstraction, and you can never have a personal relationship, a spiritual relationship with an abstraction. And so God has revealed Himself by speaking through the Hebrew prophets. But when God wanted to reveal Himself most clearly, He became a human being. Why? Because you and I relate best, not to ideas, but to human beings, to personal beings. And when the living God, who's not an it, who's not a cosmic muscle flexing in outer space, when the living God, who is a personal being, wanted to connect best with us, wanted to reveal Himself most accurately to us, He became a human being. His name, Jesus Christ. And in Colossians chapter 1, verse 15, Paul writes about Jesus, He is the image of the invisible God. Do you want to get to know God? Look at Jesus. Do you want to hear the voice of God? Listen to Jesus. And then there's a third guideline that God gives us on how to relate to Him. He says, don't abuse my name. In other words, don't curse me. Don't demean my name by throwing it about in a trivial manner. Instead, learn to sit or stand in awe of me. That is what it means to know God. To look at God and be awestruck. To stand in wonder of God's goodness, holiness, of God's love, grace, and compassion, of God's forgiveness and mercy, of God's faithfulness. Learn to sit or stand in awe, in wonder of the living God. These are guidelines that God gives us, describing how He wants us to relate to Him. G.K. Chesterton said, merely having an open mind is nothing. The purpose of an open mind, as of an open mouth, is to shut it again on something solid. Have you shut your mind solidly on Christ? Have you grasped who He is, how much He loves you, how reliable He is, how faithful He is, how good He is? When you begin to understand that, then it becomes very reasonable to put your faith and trust in Him. Faith, in a biblical sense, is based on evidence. Evidence of reliability, evidence of trustworthiness. You're never to be gullible and blindly trust a person or some God. Instead, when the evidence is the person is reliable, trust Him. When the evidence is Jesus Christ is reliable, trust Him. For He reveals God accurately, and you can begin to know God as you trust in Jesus Christ. God bless you as you make your own personal decision to trust in Jesus Christ.